Make no mistake.
I know. You're tired of hearing about AI. Me too. Unfortunately, I've been asked several times if I was scared that AI was going to take my job. My answer always has been that unless we get AGI, my job is safe. And the day we get AGI, the number of jobs is going to rapidly decrease towards zero. But I think we are pretty far from AGI. But sometimes you're wrong. And I wanted to challenge my beliefs. Maybe the current state of AI is good enough to take my job. So I went to the internet. The issue with the internet is that social medias are pretty much designed to amplify the opinions of minorities. So the reality that should look like a bell curve appears bimodal, like a valley, where the extreme seems to be the average. And so listening to people on the internet, it feels like AI is either the best thing in the world, able to produce 1,000 lines of clean code per hour, building web browsers and compilers from scratch, or on the other side, it's complete unusable garbage. But after hearing all the AI praise and how it enabled to do more, better, faster, to become a 100x engineer, I was hooked. I want in. So I grabbed my subscription, set up my AI agent, and spent a few weeks trying my best to make AI take my job. But I failed. I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, so I'm just going to tell you my biggest takeaway from this. Whether or not you use AI, the goal is still the same. Write good software. Correct, reliable, efficient, fast, secure, maintainable software. I think AI is a very powerful tool that can help reach that goal, but also comes with a lot of challenges that you need to overcome. AI generates a lot of code that you need to review, understand, and fix. Sometimes it's too much. It's overwhelming and you have to go back and do less. Ask for less. A lot of code means a lot of bugs. If you think about it, when you consciously write every single line of code yourself, you still end up with mistakes, errors, and bugs. So if you only review code, then this can only increase. And I can't take anyone who generates thousands of lines of code seriously. Sorry, I can't do it. I don't believe you can review that much code. I don't believe you can make good software like this. Because a lot of this generated code really is garbage. It's bad, it's useless, it doesn't make any sense. And you have to spend a lot of time steering your agent into the right direction. Having an AI agent produce code that seems to work can also lead to laziness and vibe coding. I think it can be very tempting to not review the generated code. Just try it and decide that it's good enough. I think a lot of people are going to fall for this. Brain and skill erosion is another important issue. If you stop doing something, you just lose the ability to do it. And using AI to code will make you much worse at writing code. But the biggest mistake you could do is to outsource your brain to AI. The whole cycle of having an idea, testing it out, failing, searching documentation, gaining more knowledge, having newer, better ideas is how you learn and get better. And that's something very precious that you should try to keep. Which leads to the death of the junior in learning. It's not tempting to minimize how much you learn. Now you can reasonably prompt an LLM to use some framework, library, or language you've never used before or never mastered and get satisfying results. But how do you acquire the knowledge and internal mental models if you don't go through the painful cycles of learning? How do you develop the ability and skills needed for more complex projects if you don't train yourself to do the simple one? One last issue may concern licensing. What if your generated code actually happens to be a copy of some private licensed piece of code that the AI model was trained on or just copied straight up? Should you be able to use it? Probably not. I mean, are you even aware of it? Probably not. And so on. Like, I could spend hours talking about this, but that's too much yapping. I think there's a fine line between AI being helpful and it being unhelpful and wasting your time. Sometimes it's just better to write the code yourself than to precisely define what you want, steer the agent toward the right direction, and constantly review its output and correct it. I mean, are the productivity gains even real? I possibly cannot trust the code generated by an AI. So yeah, the time spent writing code is now very low, but the time spent reviewing it exploded. So, I don't think agentic AI is the real revolution everyone seems to be talking about. Maybe it's a skill issue. And I know some of you are going to type skill issue in the comments because this world is a circus and you all are a bunch of clowns. Assuming you are even real in the first place, because the internet is just filled with bots nowadays, and it's becoming hard to tell who's real or who isn't. But, at the same time, I'm also against ignoring AI completely, since it can be useful. And maybe we just need to come up with more interesting tools. So, if your goal is to make good software, I think you can find ways to integrate AI in your workflow to help you perform more well-defined tasks. But I think that relying on AI to become the pilot of your project will lead to more bad than good. And to conclude, engineers pretending they have found their all-knowing God, able to answer every request and produce miracles, don't seem to realize they became the slaves of an unworthy, deceptive, manipulative, fabricated machine. Gods don't lead to enlightenment, but shadow the reality with the illusion of knowledge that shut down questions and curiosity with sterile answers. While I was recording this video, some guy spammed the bell at my door, like front door, and he started acting like he was some like internet technician that needed to verify the bandwidth or the network, like fix some network issue. And then you start asking questions about like how is my internet good? Is my bandwidth good? Like what's my connection? Is like how much bandwidth do you have? I'm like, I got 1 gigabyte a second. It's like, oh, that's very low. And I'm like, no, that's good. I'm like, oh, how much are you paying for your ISP? Like, I don't know, $50. It's like, eh. But actually, I come from this ISP and we are selling, like, I'm like, just leave. And the way he talked to me like I was really stupid and I have no idea what I'm talking about. And it just was very condescending. And I'm like, I know what you're trying to do. Like just leave. Like I got actually really, really mad because, I'm doing something. I don't want to be interrupted. And then come this guy who tried to pretend to be someone he's not, trying to sell me something, try to just make me feel like I'm some kind of moron. And yeah, it's like unbelievable what this. I'm not going to get mad and I'm not going to swear, but just nuke the whole place. Like just make it end. I can't take it anymore. Just do it.